Hey guys, what's going on? It's the Block Bull right about now, bringing you the latest episode to the channel. Now today we're going to take a look at the markets as always, but there's been a few comments in the last couple of videos where we're actually looking to take a look at some of the small cap gems. For example, Wadzpay is one of the coins built on XDC. Everyone's thinking, we lost hope, but I believe we could be looking at a bottom here for Wadzpay. But before we do go on to Wadzpay, let's go on to the network in which it's built upon. So this is XDC mainnet. Obviously, we've just had the XDC 2.0 mainnet upgrade, so that is phenomenal news for the XDC network. Now, we will be looking at rallying up towards the end of the year. I believe we're very, very closely tied to coins, the utility basket, for example, like Stellar Lumens, Ripple's XRP, and Quant to a certain extent. Obviously, XDC, Quant are heavily tied to one another. Now, we've already gone into sort of extended market structure, in my opinion. You can see this sort of TA with the trend lines as we gain into the apex here. Beginning of September, we've broken to the upside. Now, it looks like we've gone into the extended price action. So we're still suffering some sort of suppression to some extent. Now, we are still waiting for a catalyst. And what would have been the biggest catalyst other than the mainnet upgrade, which we've been anticipating for the past 12 to 18 months, if not longer? Now, crypto, for whatever reason, within the election years, every 4 years, we have the Bitcoin halving, and then we also have the US election shortly after in the year. Now, for whatever reason, crypto always seems to dip into the US elections, and then once we see the other side of the US elections, then we really have the sort of license to then begin moving. So I'm not going to, I'm not going to speculate too much until after the US elections, but obviously we've got these interim sort of targets highlighted with these dotted lines going across your screen here. Got peak 1 and peak 2 at all-time highs. I have speculated that a lot of these cryptos can run up to all-time highs before the turn of the year. However, like I said, the utility basket is heavily suppressed because we all know what they are going to bring. It's exactly what they've done with the meme coins. They run meme coins up, they pump them wild. So then everyone believes, oh, that's where the money is, in meme coins. And that's just how it is. You start off with the meme coins, and then you get a little bit more utility, and then you get up to this sort of god basket, which is the ISO 222 coins. So you're talking XRP, XLM, you got XDC, Algorand, Quant, HBAR, those type of coins. They are going to run wild. Okay, so that is XDC. Now, before we get into the other sort of cryptos, I will go over to Wadzpay. I've not got it in my watch list right now, so what I'll do is I'll go over to the search bar as well. We'll go into Bitmart. Now, I've already marked out this in the past, actually, before I actually brought it to your attention, guys. Like I said, I cover macro charts, so a lot of the time I don't even alter my TA. I just leave it on my screen. So, and look at this. It's respecting it massively. So, again, self-explanatory, which is what I want my charts to be, because a lot of traders out there, a lot of YouTubers will try and overcomplicate things. So they'll add the RSI indicator on other stochastics, MACD, crossing over moving averages, and then they'll add Fibonacci's, and then they'll be looking at the retracement 618 or whatever it is. However, having said that, we have got these sort of parallel trend lines, should I say, kind of staggered here. So you can see the highs here going through the price action. Again, we've run into some sort of resistance here, catching these peaks, and then this bottom. So again, flipping support into resistance. And then we've got the third line as well, where support has failed. Again, ultimately, so this is where we are now. We've actually capitulated down, and you can see the blue symmetrical triangle, exactly like every other chart in existence right now. Everything's making symmetrical triangles because the whole of crypto, as you know it, is synchronized. It's not as if you're in a bear market and then you've got a basket of currencies just flying. Well, do you know what I mean? Other than meme coins. So that's just the way it is at the moment, but I'm not expecting any sort of price movement again up until you can see the dates there at the bottom of your screen when I highlight this sort of region. We're looking at 4th of November, US election, so you could kind of alter that slightly. However, again, 25th of November keeps springing up, and I've spoken to other TA analysts that know what they're talking about. There's a lot of sort of small, I won't say small cap, but smaller YouTube channels. I'm talking under 30k subscribers. Very, very good in my opinion. Now you get these big TA analysts, and I watch them sometimes, and I feel like you just coming across similarities. All you're doing is getting Fibonacci's, and all you're doing is clicking on the high to the bottom. Oh yeah, 618. Yeah, retracement level. Like that to me isn't TA. TA for me is forecasting what we can do next. In my opinion, we're going to pinball similar to like XRP, similar to what we've done to XDC before it brought the apex, where we've actually gone into some sort of extended price action. Again, we're all holding on now for after the US elections, but prior to the 25th of November. 25th of November is when the altcoin market will get going. Now, although Wadzpay is sort of utility, I wouldn't necessarily put it in the utility basket just simply because it's not a layer one crypto, okay? But you can see Wadzpay can run up here from the sort of tip of the apex here. In fact, I'll just take it from current sort of price action, sort of first sort of targets up here, depending on how far you want to drag this. Say, for example, you feel like, I don't know, for argument's sake, you feel like the bull market's going to go on to like September, October of next year. We could drag that across. So September, October is up there. So you're talking about $3.50 for Wadzpay, and that would be 28,321% return on your bag there around the end of September next year. So yeah, less than 12 months, you could ultimately have 200. Is that 280x? I think it could be. 280x Wadzpay. That's fairly good. That. So again, say for argument's sake, you got $10,000 plus your 300% plus your initial equals, $2.8 million. Not so bad minus taxes. That'll get you a nice boat. So there we have it, guys. Wadzpay looking phenomenal at these sort of prices here. Yes, it does look dangerous, but ultimately I feel like Wadzpay, like every other crypto in the market, I've been saying before US elections, fantastic time to buy. We probably will see a dip after the US elections for a week or two, and then again 25th onwards. So there's like a two week window, isn't there? So if US elections is it 4th of November, 4th, 5th of November, then literally 20 days later you got altcoin season beginning. So very, very good pick in my opinion. Now let's get over to Gala. We will cover XRP in a moment, but this is where we're at now, guys, because I've set myself a challenge now to accumulate 1 million XRP tokens. That's where I want to be in terms of, just off this particular trade now. So those of you that aren't following me over on Nex, I have mentioned that I am going for it. I am going for it. Let's have a look. I think it was about $20,000. I can't remember how much I deposited, really. But anyway, I've got over like 1.2 million Gala now accumulated. And I've noticed this sort of diagonal line. So I've covered this in the previous two videos as well. And look at where sort of prices sort of reacting there around sort of end of January. So this, for me, is one of the early movers in the markets. Like I said, you do have that sort of meme coin basket. And I feel like Gala is almost like utility, but also like meme coinish, if that makes sense, just because it's like obviously facilitating the sort of entertainment industry, if you will. So it's almost like bridging that gap between that sort of like, taking the mick sort of meme coin speculation, but also it has got really strong fundamentals in terms of its utility because it is now a layer one blockchain. We've got the introduction of Gala chain that's built off the top of Hyperledger Fabric as well. So Gala isn't going anywhere right now. But yeah, I do believe we can run up here. Now, if I zoom in, guys, obviously there will be cause concern. Because be like, oh, Block Bull, I thought it was going to run up. Well, this is the thing. This is where Gala's trading. These are weekly candles, right? So I do believe I'm a little bit impatient. I'm not the best drawer. So something like this, bounce into the apex around US election time. We could stall out for a bit. And again, 25th, we could get going. We could get going a little bit later than what this sort of fractal's stipulating here. Now let's just delete that out of the way. So we could set off around here. Okay, I've just got it here for illustration purposes. That's all, guys. So yeah, just take that with a pinch of salt. But again, I do believe we can run up to this sort of 90-cent mark. Definitely take out this wick here that set the all-time high back in the 21 cycle. That was up at 83 cent there, you can see. So I do believe we'll set all-time high, and then I do feel as though we will correct to the downside, and that would put us in, say for example, we're going through this low here, drag that right across. Look at that. That is support for me down there. That is a nice little shelf there before we actually capitulated into the bear market in the previous cycle. So something like that marries up perfectly. In my opinion, it's my opinion. You don't have to go saying, oh yeah, Block Bull, that's a really good idea. I'm going to copy you. Do what you want, guys. For me, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for success. I'm ambitious. XRP hasn't done anything for the past 17 months, which is what I'm going to show you guys in a moment. So I'm going to take a risk. I know I'm cutting it fine. It is close to the wire, but that's just the type of guy I am. I'm in crypto. I'm all in. I literally leave myself with, £10 in the bank. Do you know what I mean? Just enough. I'm a minimalist. I'm literally one of them. Do you know them crypto memes you see over on X where they've literally got a bed, a laptop, and a swivel chair? I've not even got a swivel chair because I've sold my swivel chair, or my ex sold my swivel chair, should I say? And I'm just living for the gains now. Everything, let me cart everything. I'd get rid of everything if I could, and I'm all in now. Like I said, the last accumulation range now before US elections. I'm ready for that 24th, 25th week commencing in November before we get this giga pump. And then at this point, I've mentioned to you guys, I'm looking to rotate around Christmas, New Year, that sort of window of opportunity. I'm literally going all in. I'm returning back to base with XRP and XDC, the baskets of utility. I'll probably even sell my Velo as well. I've got Gala, Velo, I've got a couple of other small cap gems with, not a great deal in. But ultimately, I only want to be looking at a couple of charts. I don't need 10, 15, 20, 30 cryptos. Like, what do I need that many coins for? It just doesn't make any sense, I've got to manage. Why would I want to manage? It's like, yeah, I understand that diversification, but in my opinion, it's not needed. Like I say, crypto synchronized. They're all going to pump up. However, we're just looking for some early movers. So that's Gala. Right, let's go. XRP, where are you, baby? Now, I tweeted this out earlier. Again, for those new to the channel, I'm going to just go back and highlight. I'll be very quickly. So you got these two vertical lines. The orange dotted line coming down your screen there, that is the Bitcoin halving. Obviously, it's orange for Bitcoin, Bitcoin halving every 4 years. Then what do you know? You've got the US elections first week of November after the Bitcoin halving year. Again, US elections and US elections. And then we've got the macro two wedges. Get to the apex, giga pump. Get to the apex, mega pump. So that always takes place 35 weeks. 35. I've what I've been telling my guys who've purchased the XRP plan. 32 to 35 weeks is when you want to be in, and when to expect breakout. Okay, so it could happen slightly earlier, but for me, I would say 36 weeks after 35, 36 weeks after the Bitcoin halving, get the explosion. So this is where we are now, 35, 36 weeks. Again, Christmas, sort of New Year sort of time is when we expect XRP to rally. Now, what I've done, guys, very, very faintly, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I've actually inserted these sort of trend lines in here. You can't really see them, so what I'm going to do is highlight these in white so you can see them a little bit better. Let's put them in with lines. Can we get any thicker? I'm going to make them really thick so you guys can see them, because I don't know how they'll come up when I'm recording the video. So let's just make that a line as well, and we'll pump that up to 4. So I'm going to explain the rationale between this, because there's a lot of TAs out there. Like for example, I tweeted out the other day, I said, who's calling for $40 XRP? Like, where's the explanation? Where's the TA? Like, it's like some people just like pluck $40 out of the A. Like, where have you picked that number out? Now, I'm going to show you guys why I feel like these sort of these new trend lines that I'm inserting here have some sort of significance. So you can see at the beginning of this sort of top of this sort of first wedge, going back to like 2015, 16, 17, 18 cycle, you can see here that marks out the top of that wedge. Okay. And look how it dissects this price action beautifully. You can see coming through the bottoms. We get the tap, retest, capitulation into the bear market. And again, we're literally capturing the top of these highs now in the next cycle, 2021. Now you can see if I put candles on, look at this, interacting beautifully. It's almost like a ceiling. And again, catching the bottoms here. We fell through, tap, and come down. So that is the importance of that top, that first sort of trend line that I've just inserted. And again, we've done the same, but rather than taking the highs, we're taking the lows, because these are area of interest. All markets are supply and demand as always. So the tip of the apex, the bottom of the market pretty much, you're starting here. And again, we're going through the lows of that 21 cycle here. We catch the wick, we bounce, we burst up, and we come back down. Now, I've mentioned why this wick's down into the sort of macro wedge here, the blue trend line, and it also takes out the price where we was trading on the day of the Bitcoin event. I've mentioned that in other videos as well. Okay, so there's some significance. Again, we rally up, as I mentioned, we hit resistance, flip-flop. This comes to the end of the 21 cycle. We break down, we retest. That confirms that this is the end of the cycle for XRP. Sell your bags, get out whilst you can. Hey, what do you know? We roll over, we capitulate, and then we've been caught by this sort of macro structure. Okay, so where are these trend lines now portraying and forecasting? Now, I do believe I'm going to move this yellow line. This is US elections. However, what I'm going to do is what I'll do is I'll just clone it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just sort of where these sort of marry up here, this could be an area of significance for me. So I'm going to say around that sort of point is when the two lines converge. So I believe this sort of section here will be an area of interest. Now that is up at $27. $27 is a key figure. That's not to say that we can't go higher. I do believe XRP can go higher. Okay, and that's all in the XRP plan. The XRP plan is in the link below in the descriptions. The first link, if you click in there, okay, and that'll show you everything. Okay. Now, although I do believe XRP can reach $27, there's also more information. There's also more confirmation that XRP can reach $27 because I believe this cycle was suppressed due to the litigation. We did not exceed previous all-time highs. So the Fibonacci's were stipulating $13 in this cycle. We didn't see $13. So we're already one cycle behind. Now, if you apply Fibonacci on top of the previous cycle, $13 what we should have had if we wasn't in litigation, then we should have been up around $27. Okay, so $27 is a fantastic target. Again, I believe there's a possibility we are going much, much higher, guys. And again, if you want to know where we're going, then it's all in the plan and it'll give you exact dates. Okay, so ideally, I'm only looking at taking money out of the market towards the end of the cycle. And then that way, you probably never see me again, to be honest with you. You might do, might not. Depends how much stick I get on there, over on Twitter and YouTube, because I could do without it, to be honest with you guys. I'm just showing you my perspective, so you can take it or lump it as far as I'm concerned. But again, Ripple XRP isn't to expect any sort of breakout up until the end of the year, guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've been the Block Bull. Up until next time, I shall see you soon. Block Bull over and out.